When I thought of the theme of gender, I thought, I wish I could find somebody that made repurposed leather banners of gender-bending icons. There is such a person. He's here with us. His name is Martin Rolon.
All right. All right. Yes. That's right.
I mean, perfect for the theme, right? I mean, couldn't get any better. Does anybody want to name it with me? We've got
Bowie.
They're all made out of repurposed leather, and they're all hand sewn. And I'm going to let Martin tell you about them. But let's give a big hand to Martin.
As Bobby mentioned, they're all made out of repurposed leather, so these are garments that I buy at thrift stores and I take them apart and I make these pieces. And I start off the process with rectangular pieces. I think you can see it better on the red ones in here. And I form them, sew them, and form them and top stitch them to form what I call a brick wall. And the inspiration behind that is growing up on the Lower East Side, on the projects actually, on FDR Drive. The first pieces of artwork that I experienced were on the side of tenement buildings. So in a sense, these are my brick walls, these are my graffiti tags. And I was also very inspired by murals, by larger-than-life pieces of artwork, color. And also growing up in that neighborhood, there were a lot of gardens with scrap metal artwork. So I was always fascinated with taking materials that were already out there and forming something new. And here it is, decades later, I really didn't realize the profound effect that it had on my artwork until now, recently, that I started doing this in the last couple of years. And so I start with the brick wall, and then sometimes I sew leather on top, which is called applique. Sometimes I cut into it and sew the leather from behind, which is called reverse applique. And if you look closely, for instance, at Lee Bowery's eyes, Bunny, even Grace Jones, it looks like her eyes are just black. But if you look closely, behind the black is the blue eyeliner, behind that is the white, behind that is blue, behind that is black, behind that is white. Sometimes I go 7, 8 layers deep.
What?
I did the same thing with Marilyn Manson's mouth. If you look, you can see his lipstick and the gum. I used 2 shades of burgundy. So that's basically it. And then the subjects that I chose, these artists had a really, really big impact on me as a child. As you can see, most of these, well, I discovered them at least in the 80s. Marilyn Manson is more of a tour phenomenon. But they shaped my aesthetic of what is beauty and what is art. And they crossed the boundaries of gender, of thinking outside the box, and even beauty for that matter, because I thought that Lee Bowery was so beautiful, and Quentin Crisp, the older gentleman that wore makeup and was a dandy on the Lower East Side, and I saw him as so beautiful back then. And flash forward to now that everybody's so obsessed with plastic surgery and perfectionist stuff that I don't find beauty in that. I like these individuals. This is what I find beautiful, and that's the subject and basically the process. That's
All right. All right. That's good. Amazing.
So we have a few minutes if people want to ask Martin any questions about his work or his life or these pieces. Anybody have anything they want? Yeah. Hi, Sarah.
Hi there. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you work on one continuously until it's done, or do you work on multiple different things?
That's a good question. Normally I do. Normally I like to start and finish a project. If something takes too long, if I see it's dragging on more than a month, I don't like to lose interest because the details won't be as I like to. Like for instance, as simple as Grace Jones' eyes look, that took me 2 weeks because I kept tweaking her makeup, her eyes, the layering. Like I said, it looks like a black eyeball. It's actually black and blue. There's so many layers. So if I see I get caught up on a detail, I'll start to get a little frustrated and move on to something else. But normally, start to finish, I like to just continue the process.
One other question.
Yeah.
On the back, do you...
Oh, that's a good question. On the back is repurposed curtains. So all the materials are repurposed. In the beginning, I used to make wooden frames and stretch it as one does with your traditional canvases, but I really like sticking with the repurposed. And even with my clothing now, I won't go out and buy new stuff. I'll redo old stuff, just not to be wasteful and to be green. So they're perfect on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anybody else that you would add to this specific collection?
I do have quite a few others. These were chosen for the gender issue. I was mentioning this to Taylor a little while ago. The next one that I'm going to do is a performance artist, actor, just a brilliant artist from the UK called David Hoyle, who I'm obsessed with lately. So he's going to be the next one. That's a good question. I'm kind of blank right now. There's such a big list. There's so many people that made an impact on me. And I didn't realize this until I started doing the portraits. Then I thought, oh, but this one, and this one, and this one. Next thing you know, the list was just endless.
Beautiful. Helene?
Do you use a machine?
I do. I use a walking foot. It's for leather. Yes, it's all stitched.
Walking foot, is that the pedal?
No, that's the actual presser foot. It lifts and moves leather. It's specifically for thicker fabrics. It's not a traditional regular machine.
That's a special machine, or it's an attachment on a
No, it is
particular?
a special machine, specifically for thicker fabrics, canvases, leather, vinyl.
Drew?
Who's the one on the left?
Right here, that's Adam.
Adamant.
Indie singer from the 80s.
Okay. Are these the only subjects you do and have done?
No, these were chosen specifically for the gender issue, but there's others.
And where would one see them? Yeah.
Well, I just moved back to New York last summer to show my artwork, so I'll give you information, contact information afterwards. Hopefully you'll see me everywhere.
Yeah.
I think this is mine. And do we have another one over here? I thought I saw
I
somebody.
really love the color combinations.
Thank
you
you.
deal with such like a minimalist, you can't do a billion shades or whatever. And I think you have really great choices with the colors you combine, especially like
Thank you.
Bowie's hair, just like it glows.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Really great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have a
one more.
website?
I'm sorry?
Website, or where we could...
Not yet, that's
Okay.
in the process, but I have a Facebook page, and I'll give you
Perfect.
contact information.
Oh, yeah,
after
what's the
show.
name?
Yeah.
Puntada Cruda is actually any product that I made because I started out making leather accessories, and then what happened was on the flats of messenger bags, that kind of progressed into artwork, and I had friends years ago that said, why don't you make large-scale pieces of artwork, and here it is.
So tell us again the name if they want to listen to it.
Puntada Cruda, which means raw stitch, and I like a rawness to things. I don't like perfect. If you look, the work has gotten more meticulous over the years, but there's still a rawness to it. So I like any type of work that is a little rough around the edges, that's not so polished and not so perfect. And that's
So
what
do we.
Yeah.
All right, I just want to make a quick straw poll. Who wants which one? Okay, how many for the Bowie? All right, how many for the Lady Bunny? Yeah, I want the Lady Bunny. How many for Grace?
Oh.
How about Adamant?
Raise my hand for everyone.
How about for Divine? Big Valerie?
And I will go with mine.
Marilyn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much
Well,
are
I'm
they?
thrilled. How much are they? Do you want to say, or should that be an
Price range.
off-table
That's
discussion?
a private discussion.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Come in here after. You can mingle with him. Oh my God, here we come. Okay, here they go. Here, listen, we're going to pass this food I'll bring out. If you can hear me